Good morning, Miss Warner's second grade class. Today in class we will focus on measuring objects since we had a bit of a difficult time with it this week. We will base this lesson off of measurements, and do not forget to take home your homework once we have finished this lesson. So we'll start off saying today we are going to learn how to measure different objects using a ruler with the side that is labeled inches. So we won't use this tiny side with the tiny little numbers. We won't use this side. We'll use this side, and it says right here inches. So hopefully all the kids will find that on the inches side, and if not, I'll go around and make sure that they do. So first we'll have them, the I end stands for inches, so I'll make sure that they found that, and I'll make sure they put their finger on that letter and that word. And we'll first start off with the crayon box. So every student has a crayon box, a leaf, and a note card on their desk. And so every student obviously has a note card and a crayon box. So I'll bring in the leaves and rulers. Kids should have rulers, so it should be good. So we'll grab the crayon box and we'll measure out the crayon box. So I'll have those students do it first, and I'll have them write down on their piece of paper crayon box and however many inches it is. So then I'll have them look at me and we'll measure out how much it is. So it's about 8 inches. So we'll write down the number once again and make sure everybody got 8 inches. And when we are done, show me if you got it or if you need help. So I'll have them raise their hand if they need me. And then we'll start off after that with the note card. So we'll get the note card and I'll have them measure it out. Do the same thing as the crayon box. Write down what they get for the note card, and then I'll do it for them. Make sure they're looking at me. And then I'll measure the note card, which should be about 4 inches. So if somebody got like 3 or 2, I don't know how, I'll make sure that they got 4, and I'll show it to them that there is 4 inches, not 2 or 3. So show me the number you get with your finger when you find the measurement, and raise your hand to tell me. Now we'll move on to the leaf. So we'll measure the leaf and record it on your paper in inches, how much you've got. And I'll have them raise their hand if they get it, and if they don't, then I'll show them what I got. And I got 6 inches, so they should get about 6 inches. If they got 2, I don't know what they're doing. And then we'll go on to, now look at your paper and finding the recording you did of the crayon box, and the note card. And I'll have them tell me the difference between the two. That'll also get them, like, I think they started subtracting by now, but if they haven't, then it'll start getting the ball rolling. So we'll measure what the difference between the two is. So the crayon box was 8 inches, the note card was 4 inches. So they'll tell me on the piece of paper which one's shorter. And if they tell me the crayon box, really? Well, then I'll show them up on in front of the classroom. I'll show them, here's the note card, here's the crayon box. Here's the difference between the two. Obviously, the crayon box is going to be longer than the note card. And then they'll tell me, they'll look at their paper, and they'll put them away. And then I'll have them tell me if the note card is shorter than the crayon box. And if they say the crayon box is longer, who knows. But then I'll do it for them, and I'll show them that the note card is obviously shorter than the crayon box. So then we'll move on to between the leaf and the note card. So I'll have them subtract the leaf, which is 6 inches, with the note card, which is 4 inches. So they should get about 2 inches off of it. And they'll tell me what it is, the difference between the two. They'll tell me how many inches they got and how many inches they got for this one. And then they'll tell me which one's longer, if the leaf is longer or the note card's longer. And then we'll put them together, and they can tell me if the leaf is longer or the note card's longer than the other. Hopefully they'll say leaf. Let's hope they say leaf. And if they look at their paper and they see the numbers, like they think their 6 looks like a 2 or something, and their 4 looks like a 5, and so obviously then the leaf would be bigger or the leaf would be smaller than the other. I'll make sure I go around and make sure I adjust those numbers so they look like they're the right numbers they're supposed to be. So I'll have them tell me the difference, which one has the most inches, which one has the least, and then we'll do one last comparison with the crayon box and the leaf. And they'll tell me the difference between the two, if the crayon box is longer or if the leaf is longer. And hopefully they'll say crayon box, because that'd be horrible if they didn't. But then we have a ruler. So I'll bring the ruler into this. If the ruler is longer than the crayon box, we'll do that comparison. And hopefully they'll say the ruler is longer because it's 12 inches. So maybe they could write that one down too. Ruler is 12 inches. So then they could tell me which one would be longer and what's the difference. So 8 inches, 12 inches. 12 minus 8, 4. So 4 inches would be the difference. Now what if you added, and then maybe get them to do, what if you added them together? Looks like a guitar. That's cool. Oh, then I could like make something into that. That'd be cute. Okay. But then if you added 12 and 8 together, what would you get? And they would hopefully tell me 20. They would hopefully tell me that 20 inches. So this would take up 20 inches. So that's my lesson. That's what I would hope to do in the classroom. And so I'll wrap it up with, let's move on to the next, we'll wrap it up with, so in class today, what do you think we learned? It is pretty important, and I'll have them answer me, like, what do you think what we've learned today? Like, what did we do? How did we learn it? What was this object? What was this big green object that we used during the class? We'll say it is pretty important to make measurements so we can fit things into places if they are the right size. Did you know that people that make buildings have to measure things all the time? It's part of their job. When you go home today, measure some things around the house and see which objects could be longer or shorter than the others. I know when I was little, I probably had this lesson in 2nd grade, and I remember my parents telling me I went measuring crazy. I started measuring everything around the house. I measured textbooks. I measured shirts. I measured my feet. I just kind of went crazy. So I think that'd be cool to like incorporate that with the kids too. Tell them that I measured everything around the house when I was little. So like, oh wow, the teacher measured stuff, so I should measure stuff, right? So they could do that all weekend. It'd probably be a Friday. So we'll do the weekly review, which would review all the things that we had done this past week, which we had mainly focused on measuring. I hope we focused on measuring this week. And we'll have measured some other stuff around the classroom, and we'll review that kind of thing. And then I'll end the lesson. So thank you.